Everyone keeps asking me if the Portland, Maine market is finally crashing. And I always ask back, which one? Because believe it or not, we have three, and only one of them is in trouble. Today, I'm giving you my 2026 forecast, where we've been, where we are, and where this actually goes. Let me draw you one line on a graph, because this tells you everything. Back in 2019, that line was flat and calm. Homes in Portland were going for the mid to upper 300,000s, and nobody was losing sleep. Then 2022 hit, and that line shot straight up like a rocket. Nowadays, we've come back off that top, and we're still way above where we started. So when somebody tells me that they lost all this money, I stop them right there. That's really not true. Think of it like a stock that ran from $10 to $20 in a year, and now it's sitting at 16. So it didn't crash, you're still up from 10. If you bought right at the top, sure, that stings a little bit, but most folks never lost a dime. Portland had one of the biggest home value jumps in the whole country since 2019, up more than 75%, sixth highest in the nation if you can believe it. That's a market that sprinted, caught its breath, and now is going to a slow to calmer pace. So what does that calmer pace feel like once you're living in it? The headlines say crashing because that's the story that sells a lot easier. But what's really going on is the market's stabilizing. And it probably won't climb back to that 2022 top anytime soon, which is good news for you because that jump was pushed by something that didn't last. All those folks fleeing New York and Boston during the pandemic, working from anywhere, grabbing anything with a water view, that wave came in hot, and it's mostly gone now. So what's left is steady, maybe slow, healthy gains from here, the kind of climb that roughly keeps up with inflation. So a market that's working. Now, here's the part that should shape every move you make. Getting back to those top prices is going to take time, and that's because this is a demand problem and not a supply problem. And when we get into the three different markets hiding inside Portland later on, you'll see why this one idea splits people who panic from the people who profit. But first, let me show you why this floor holds. Real quick before that, if you're watching this trying to figure out where your own situation fits, whether you're moving into Portland itself or one of the towns around it, that's what I help people sort out every single day. My info's in the description down below. All right, now let's get back into it. So what makes me sure that this won't keep sliding? It's a fair question, and it's one that people ask a lot. My answer is there's always demand at the right price, and there isn't enough new building to flood this market at all. Think about this in other states. You buy into some D.R. Horton neighborhood, and then they throw up 1,000 more homes right next to you that they can't even sell. They have to slash interest rates, give concessions, give free appliances away. They just can't sell them. We've got the opposite problem in Maine because we're barely making enough new homes at all. The state is short tens of thousands of new homes, and builders are stuck fighting over permit delays with rising costs. So where are the homes that we do have for sale coming from? Mostly from people selling because they bought during the pandemic and Maine just doesn't fit their lifestyle anymore. They came for the dream and now they're heading back or moving on. And rates are helping too. They've come way down from the brutal top a couple of years back, sitting in the high fives to low sixes now. As rates drop, buyers who were sitting on the sidelines actually come back out, and that holds the whole thing up even more. And what you need to understand is who's actually buying. So let's cover that right now. Forget the Instagram version of the Maine dream for a second, because the truth about who's signing contracts is way more grounded than that. People are moving here because something in their life changed, like a growing family that's bustling out of a starter home, a divorce, or a job moving them. What you don't see is, hey, we just love the neighborhood, let's sell and figure it out. That energy is absolutely gone. It's not a sideways market either. Folks move to get a better location, to get into the area, or finally step into that bigger colonial they've been working towards. Every move's got a real reason behind it. We'll see more of that when we cover both buyers and sellers strategy. But let's move on for now. So all of that is why the whole move to Maine pitch doesn't drive the market the way the internet wants you to think. The Maine lifestyle is bikes and boats and being out on the water. Most of our buyers are regional, coming up from Massachusetts, New Hampshire, or they're already here, stepping up or stepping down. Knowing that one thing changes how you should play this, and it sets up the biggest mistake I see people make, which is treating Portland like it's one market when it's really three. People talk about the Portland market like it's one thing moving one direction, when it's three separate markets, all happening at once, all pulling different ways. And if you don't know which one you're standing in, you're flying blind. Single-family homes are the strong one. Out in the good suburbs, Scarborough, Falmouth, the better pockets of South Portland, well-priced homes still move fast and pull multiple offers. We're talking houses going pending in about 2 weeks when they're priced right, and a big chunk gone in the first week. Single-family prices in Portland climbed last year, pushing into the low 700s. Condos are the soft spot. Sales have slowed, prices have eased off, and and these units sit longer. On top of that, condo fees in lots of these buildings have jumped hard over the past few years, and that's wrecking the math for buyers. And I call it a soft market because it's a niche buyer, plain and simple. Condo buyers tend to be older folks who need an elevator, and some of these buildings don't even have one. Or they skew much younger, and that buyer's rare around here. The kids want to go to New York or LA. The product just doesn't fit the market in the way that it did when the pandemic was holding it up. Then you've got multi-units, your 2 to 4 unit buildings. For years, this was the gold standard for house hackers and investors, but now it's tricky. New rules came in a few years back that cap how much you can raise rents each year, and shiny new luxury buildings are competing hard. These can sit anywhere from a month to 3 months before they move. So before you make a single move, figure out which one of these 3 markets you're standing in. Because what I'm going to tell buyers only works if you know which lane you're in. Let's get specific, starting with the suburbs, where the clock is your biggest enemy. If you want a single family home in one of the good neighborhoods, the house and spot have to work for you today. And I mean really work. Because homes turn over so slowly here that you could wait a full year and not find anything better. The perfect house doesn't exist. And when it does pop up, you pay top dollar and it's gone in a blink. So if you're buying for the long haul, be okay with that and budget to turn a good enough house into the right one over time. The best homes don't hang out here. Now flip every bit of that for a condo. In that softer market, slow down, hunt for the best one, and negotiate hard. You can throw out offers that feel almost insulting and actually maybe get them taken or get a counter offer. There are real deals to be had right now, and I wouldn't let it scare you off. But here's the one move you can't skip on a condo. Dig into the condo fee, the building's books, and any changes coming down the line before you fall in love with the place. Your real monthly number is the mortgage plus that fee. That's the difference between a smart buy and a money pit you're stuck with. And once you flip to the other side of the table, the whole game changes again. Now, if you're selling, the whole thing comes down to one move, and it's simpler than most buyers think, but you've got to nail it. You have to price hard on day one, and I can't say this loudly enough. If you don't have a showing request in the first week, it's the price. I guarantee it. It's not the photos, it's not the season, it's not bad luck. It's the price. And you've got to know your segment's math. Selling a multi-unit in Portland, those can sit around for 3 or 4 months, so come up with a game plan and your patience there might look totally different. But if you're selling a single family home in Scarborough and getting no showings in a week, you're priced too high. The market's telling you that, so you need to listen. Sellers around here still pull in close to full ask on average, and that's strong. But the gap between what you ask and what you pocket is closing fast, and that's why a sharp price on day one is the whole game. Get the price and look right. You'll have a sold sign before your neighbors even notice you listed. The Portland market isn't one thing you can read off a headline, it's 3. And the panic only hits people reading the wrong one. Once you know the market you're standing in, is it crashing, stops being scary and turns into a simple plan. If you want me to tell you whether your smartest move is to buy, sell, or hold, or just sit tight this year, email me today and I'll give you the read on your exact situation. Now, if this 3 markets idea grabbed you, the gap between Portland and its suburbs have gotten wider than it's ever been in years. And I've linked the video breaking down how this market is splitting into 2 below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.